Gentrification is a global issue that has the potential to affect everyone at some point in their lives. The easiest way to describe gentrification is the phrase urban renewal. Sadly enough, urban renewal is somewhat of a cultural renewal as it forces lower income families to move out. A more formal definition of gentrification is the renovation or renewal of a district so that it may display a more middle-class taste. Gentrification is more likely to be viewed as a positive occurrence than a negative one. It seems everyone always gets excited when a new restaurant pops up in their neighborhood, but few individuals stop to think about the land it sits on and who it belonged to in the past.
Takes a toll on me, takes a toll on my friends and family around the area. To see people that we knew growing up having to move because they can keep up with the tax increases.
The three of us, having lived in Austin almost our entire lives, feel rather connected to the topic of gentrification. Now that we are older and more educated about the harm it can do, we are more passionate. Our primary goal is to spread awareness about the harm gentrification is dealing to Austin and the way it has affected the rest of the world. On a global scale, gentrification is everywhere. Whether it be the slums of urban Brazil or the outskirts of London, it is a very prevalent force that is difficult to recognize. As global populations continue to grow, affordable housing continues to diminish. There is simply less space to put everyone. Gentrification is often a major culture killer. After the Berlin Wall had fallen, there were sections that remained standing for artistic purposes. The western side of the wall was covered in unique graffiti that served as a reminder of the world's triumph over the Cold War. The wall was named the East Side Gallery, and in 2013 was torn down to make way for new construction. Gentrification is more likely to happen in very urban areas, and because of this, it affects a large variety of people. Austin has seen extremely rapid growth in the last decade. For a few years, Austin was one of the fastest growing cities in the U.S. and the world. Before Austin began to experience extreme growth, there were borders intentionally built to segregate the population. One of the main thoroughfares in Austin was built to act as a major border. I-35 was built in 1962 and was essentially a wall to keep African Americans in the African American district, which is now the East Side. This ultimately allowed gentrification to take place. With the recent influx of people, Austin is faced with a dilemma when it comes to maintaining its popularity. There simply isn't enough space to put these people. If you live in Austin, you may have noticed an annual trend in the downtown skyline. It seems every year there's a new construction site downtown which will become a towering condo to provide living space for prospective Austinites. This trend is actually a tactic used to fight gentrification. Rather than building out, building up prevents expansion and the displacement of current residents. Austin has affordable housing regulations set by state and federal government. The regulations limit families and individuals who make an average to high annual income for qualifying for affordable housing. Gentrification, sadly, cannot be stopped. This is a fact that cannot be changed, especially in Austin. Property taxes will continue to rise as more people move to Austin. Austin is a big advocate for public spaces like libraries, parks, and even historical landmarks. The east side of Austin is filled with houses that have the potential to be deemed historic. In the case that a structure is historic, it cannot be demolished for any reason. Recently, there have been major victories in Texas. Texas rarely supports affordable housing policies and programs, but advocates secured passage of legislation that will strengthen fair housing standards. In 2011, state legislation passed the Texas Department of Housing and Community Affairs Sunset Bill, which authorized the agency to continue operating for another decade. However, Rick Perry vetoed the bill, but allowed the agency to operate through 2013. It is important to vote consciously. For example, former Governor Rick Perry didn't support many bills that intended to progress affordable housing in the state of Texas. Often, affordable housing is not a big-ticket item in a candidate's campaign. We ask next time you vote, you research said candidate's position on the issue. For something that affects so many people, it is something that is often overlooked in a voter's mind. In conclusion, please vote consciously and let gentrification be an issue you care about. And together, we can help a lot of people maintain their homes.